Hi there everybody out there, how you doing? Well, welcome to part 5 of the Keeway Superlight 200 strip down and rebuild. If you do like my videos, do give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe if you haven't, do share with your friends, and it helps my channel out. Do check out parts 1, 2, 3 and 4. In this episode I'm going to get the bearings done on the wheels, get the wheels on, get all the rest of the bits and pieces on, and then take it out for a test ride. Let's get cracking, shall we? I went out and bought myself a slide hammer bearing removal kit. And these are for when you've got a sleeve between your bearings. I've already removed this one. But yeah, this is the sleeve. And it fits on the other bearing like that. And this bearing fits tight on it. So you've got really only the chamfer between the sleeve and the bearing, and that's where these come in. They fit between that chamfer and then you slide hammer the bearing out, in theory. But quite frankly, these slides that have come with this are quite light, they're cheap, and I just can't get the thrust I need from here to here. There's just not enough. It's about 2 inches, I think, so you've got 2 inches of hit with something that's got no oomph, so you're relying on the old hand. And yeah, what can I say, I couldn't even get it off myself. So what I've done, I've rigged up a system. I've got a nice long length of steel that I had left over, propped it up on an old paint can. Real high-tech stuff this is. And that's how I removed the other bearing over there. But yeah, I've got the correct one in there. It's behind the bearing, between the bearing and the sleeve, and I bolted it here. Basically it's off the ground a couple of inches. I'm going to lift this end of the bar and basically drop it and just rely on it pulling it out. Okay, I'll stand you on the tripod and you can watch me do it. I will add here that if I had a blowtorch, I could probably heat up the rim a bit, which allows it to expand, and this would probably work. I don't know about that thin slide, but it would work a lot quicker with this. But I haven't got a blowtorch. I can't really do it over the kitchen cooker. I've actually been over it and been round it with a candle, my blowtorch. So let's quickly do this. There we go. It worked. Great stuff. I think we can try and punch the other one out from this side rather than go for all that palaver again. Well, there you go. I've got to give this a good clean up, but not a big deal. There's the bearing, and I'll tell you what, that is seized. That's got a bit of movement in it. I don't know if you can see that, but that is it. That's not going around any further. The other one on the other side seems to be the same, so I don't know what make these are. I can't make it out. YOD, YOD. Yeah, no, VOD. Or VCD, I don't know. But they're cheap Chinese ones that have been on there since I bought it. Got 2 new ones on order for the front. And the old grease seems alright. And I've got 2 new for the back one as well. And it seems to have stretched the tool a little bit. So, maybe I should invest in a decent one. You get what you pay for. Mai pang mai di. Okay, let's get this other one pressed out. Oil seal's out. I'm going to reuse that. And there's the other bearing out. So there's the rear wheel done. So just got to wait for the new bearings now. Do the front one. Because we haven't got the tyre on this one, we're going to need something to prop this up. Something at least this thick. Right, got a couple of blocks. And some chipboard so it doesn't damage the rims. Same process. What I'm actually doing, I'm hitting the bearing there, and then I'm doing perpendicular there, perpendicular, and then going back, and I'm just making sure I'm tapping it all the way around. Last thing I want it to do is to twist in the rim and damage the rim. New bearing goes in, flops about. One, two, three. And again, we've got the oil seal out, a little bit of damage on the side there. But I think that should be all right. It's not holding any pressure, it's just holding in grease. Okay, and that's freed that one up. By hanging on it, that was tight as anything. Great stuff. So again, this one's just waiting for the new bearing. I'll clean the hubs out, all the grease, they're all in good condition. This tyre now is ready to go on this hub. The bearings on the rear hub, they're not too bad. There's a slight bit of play in that one. And there's even more in that one. So there is a little bit of play, but they spin. There's no noise. Seal came out fine. So I'm going to reuse that. No damage to the tube that goes between the bearings. Again, the front one, I cleaned it out. There is a little bit of corrosion down underneath the bearing and on the side here. I'm wondering if some water got in there and corroded it. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm not sure where the microphone is. That is crunchy and grinding, so I reckon some water got in there at some point. So the new ones, I'm going to make sure I grease them right up. And this one here, it spins, but there's a little bit of grinding in there, and this one loosened up a bit when I knocked it out. And again, the tube that spaces the bearings out, good condition, not damaged at all. And the grease seal is not damaged. So we're going to reuse that. So tomorrow I'm going to take this hub into school with me in my lunch hour. I'm going to take it and have the tyre put on there because we had a delivery today. And I haven't even opened this yet, so but I know what it is, and I think you know what it is. It's a tube for the rear tyre. 130, 90, 15. Perfect. So we'll load them on the truck tonight and we'll be ready for the morning. Great stuff. And there's my blowtorch. This is what I used to heat the rim up. I just went round and round and round and round and round, and it done the job. So I hope you enjoyed my unconventional way of getting these bearings out. It's not something I've ever done before, but it's not something I had any choice really. It was either that or get a Dremel and cut them out, or go and buy a blowtorch. We've had a delivery. 1, 2, 3 packages in one day. Wow. Okay, I've opened them already, saved a bit of time. First one, wheel bearings. Second one, wheel bearings. I do believe these are the front and these are the back. And I don't know if this is my indicator relay. I haven't looked actually, or Yeah, it's my fuses. Or is it just a box of paper? Well, I'll tell you what, that's good packaging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 amp fuses. Just what the doctor ordered. Just need to wait on my indicator relay now. Yeah, these are for the front. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. And these are for the rear. Okay, 2 larger bearings, which are Koya. These are NSK, but they're both made in Japan. So what I'm going to do with these, I've not got a blowtorch to heat the rim, so I'm going to stick these in the deep freeze. Heat expands metal and cold contracts it. I don't really want to put grease on the outside because that really defeats the object. This needs to be very, very tight in order for the inner race to spin. So yeah, I'm going to try and freeze these for a couple of hours and then we'll get them in the hubs. There we go, these have been in there for a couple of hours. I'm going to take the small bearings first. These are for the front wheel. They are cold. Okay, that's seated very well. Let's push the grease seal in there. That's going in by hand. We use the pin to centre it properly later. Okay, I'm going to centre that off now. You can hear the ring. That tells me the bearing's seated. Let's check it with the speedo, shall we? Oh, there's the front wheel done. It's a little bit small. Let's give it a go. Okay, I can hear from the ring and I can feel the hammer that that's seated now. Okay, grease seal. Okay, there's a seal in place. Oh. One more to go. As it seats into the hub, you can hear the ring. There's no more playing that. Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, so we're done. Oh, they're cold. Okay, so we've got the bearings in both wheels, front and back. So I think we should get these on the bike and get all the rest of the bits on. Well, with the help of Jennifer, I managed to get the bike up enough to get the wheels on. Well, not like how it is. So I'm going to need to put something under the centre of the bike. It's about 1/4 inch on the front and 1/4 inch on the back, higher than the actual wheel. So, you know, we've got a bit of leeway there. So yeah, my daughter Jennifer helped me do this. Hence the marks on the block there. You know, we've got them on the point of the strong bit. Didn't want it going on the back here. Thank you, Jennifer. We're going to get something to support the centre of the bike now, so we can remove the back, put the wheel on, then remove the front, put the wheel on. Then we can either put it up on the main stand or get the side stand on. Great stuff. Okay, let's get cracking. I dug out an old bottle jack, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a hole in a piece of wood, nice thick piece of hardwood, about 18 inches in length. I'm going to slot it on top of the jack, and the wood will go between the cross member here and the base of the centre stand here. Okay, we're nearly there. As it's a conical drill bit, it's going to have a taper to it, so I don't want to go too far because we've only got about 1/2 inch there. I think that's going to do it. Okay, let's get a hammer on that and we'll jack her up. Okay, that sounds like it's right down. Not quite, but I think that'll be enough. I don't want to hit it too much. I might bugger up the mechanism. Okay, let's see how we get on. Rather than have it on the centre stand here, I'm going to put it on the bottom of the engine here. There's a lug with a drain plug, and on this cross beam as well. And also what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a piece of wood the opposite direction as well. This is Jennifer's old homemade skateboard. So I'm going to try that. Okay, well, it's not going to touch the back of the engine, but let's get this centred and we'll give that a go. Yeah, there's the back wheel up, but it's still a little unsteady, so do we chance it? Yeah, I think we should give it a go, turn the fan off. Maybe we should have got the back wheel ready first. Now I think that'll be alright. Well, I put the rear brake shoes in. They weren't that difficult to do, so I didn't want to bother you with that. Hello. Quick wipe out before we put these in, in case there's any grease or dust on it. Okay, that's good. Just shows the bearing's seated well. And we have this flange to go on the other side. Like so, and there is a spacer that goes in there, I believe. Maybe we're trying, oh no, we're not going to be able to do that, it needs to be in there. Come on. What? Yeah, come on, here we go. Oh dear. Okay, we need to put something under here. Pronto. It's not looking good on that front. Is that going to work? Yeah. Whoa, I was in a bit of a panic there, but that feels pretty stable now. Let's get this back wheel on. Oh, come on, you've got about an inch to go there. Okay, it's hitting on the centre stand, so maybe we can pull that down a bit. But yeah, that's quite stable now. No, we can't put the centre stand down either because it's locked by the board. Yeah. Oh dear. I'm going to see if I can take this brake shoe out and put it in afterwards. I don't think you can, but you never know until you try it. Oh, come on. Oh, bloody hell, that was tight. Well, there's the wheel in place, and I do believe there's enough room to get the brake shoes in. Let's straighten that wheel a bit. Okay, well, it's going to be about there, so let's take the wheel back. Voila! So, what we got to go in here? We've got the chain tensioners. These basically pull the spindle back. You get a loose chain, so these have got to go in. I don't think it matters which one's left and right. And the actual chain itself, I don't know if you can see there, it's got like a split pin link, so we can put that on afterwards. Let's just get this rear wheel in place, shall we? So we've got one spacer. I believe that goes in this side. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we've got to lift this wheel up a little bit. I was going to use some of these packers, but they're busy. This has got to come up about an inch. What have we got? Okay, we've got 2 bits of MDF here. Let's bang it up on one. Nope, not enough. Let's bang it up on 2. Okay, we've got it. There's no washer with this. I just want to clamp it in place. Not sure, so let's take 3 different ones, shall we? Okay, that's a 21. And that's a 24. I don't know why they just don't make them both the bloody same. Okay, I'm going to pull this right the way back on both sides. And there we go. I'm not going to tighten out fully, but that's now enough that it's on the back wheel. So now we need to think about getting this front wheel out and getting it on the front. Oh dear. Well, I tilted the bike like that. I'm not going to do it too much, and I moved the tyre out and I put a paint pot into place. So let's get this front wheel on. Hopefully I've raised the front enough that we can get it under that mud guard. Yeah, I did practice it earlier, but I wanted you to see it. Let's get this front wheel on and then we can lower it down. Okay, it's got to go up by about inch and a bit, so let's use these packers that we're using on the back wheel. It's still not quite there, but I think I'm going to lift this. Okay, we need to get the speedo in. Yeah, it needs to be done beforehand. Never mind, these things are sent to testers. And test us they do. Okay, there you go. I might actually slap a load of grease around there because I think this is where water got in the last time. Bang! Get in there. Grease is the word. Voila! We're in. Great stuff. And we'll put the brake caliper on last. 19 and a 17, so 19 on the nut, 17 on the bolt. Got it right that time. I put Loctite on these, but I just want to get it off the jack, get it freestanding. So let's get this side stand on as well, shall we? I think we'll put the spring on and then get the side stand into place. So that goes on a lug behind there. Again, I have practiced this beforehand. I just want to give you guys out there quality entertainment. So, yeah, I've been in the circus. Okay, this is a little bit difficult to get lined up because I've got to stretch that spring down a little bit. There we go. $19. Actually, that's probably about 18. It's probably an Imperial one. A lot of the bolts on this power cut. It's not even raining. Yep. All my desktop computers that I use to run my company have all just crashed. Yeah. That's why I know that people who use the internet out here need it for their business. They have a backup power supply, which is probably what I should do instead of whinging about it. But let's get this bike off of this jack, and we can get all the rest of the bits and pieces done. Get the exhaust on. I really want to get all the fuel system done and get it started up. Basically, mustn't forget the oil. She needs engine oil. I'll get that tomorrow. Okay, you may have seen I've got the Superlight logo on the tank. Looks good, doesn't it? But what I did, I used double-sided tape. Yep, it was laborious. I just basically taped this to the back. I went right round every letter with a craft knife and I cut the excess off. Peeled the backing off, put it in place. Okay, let's get cracking, get this bike on its boots. There, she's off and she's on her boots. with help from my daughter. My lovely little Jennifer. I picked the whole of the back of the bike up. She removed the jack, all the wood and the blocks. So I think the next port of call, let's get this exhaust pipe on, get the rear brake done. There's no brakes at the moment. We'll get the front brake caliper on. I need to go and get some more brake fluid. I'll get that tomorrow along with the engine oil. We'll get the chain attached and adjusted. And then I think we're ready to go. I mean, we haven't got any indicators because I need the flasher relay for the LEDs that I've put on there. But that should be coming soon, and I'll be using my hands left and right. Pull off cam. I've got the speedometer in. Not sure where this needs to go. I'll probably put a zip tie, cable tie in there. But I've got the front caliper on. I've got myself a bit of brake fluid. Not sure if it's going to be enough, so I'm going to try and bleed this out. I thought it was a 10, but I think this is about an 8. Let's give it a bash. First thing we need to do is fill the reservoir. Okay, it's got a bit in there. Don't want to get this near your paintwork because this will strip it. It's as good as paint stripper, believe me. Okay, yep, there's an 8. We're going to need some kind of pipe to go on there to catch the excess fluid. Yoo. Okay, so the process of this is to undo it anti-clockwise, squeeze the lever, pushes fluid through the system, lock it, which should suck more fluid from the reservoir, and you keep doing that until there's no air bubbles left in it. That's the theory. Let's give it a bash. It's going to take some time because you've got all the air in the cable and you've got all the air in the caliper. So there we go, all bled out. A lot of air came out here, a lot of air bubbled up through the reservoir as well, so nice and firm now. Excellent stuff. I want to get the exhaust on today if we can. And I want to get the rear brakes on. So let's get these brakes on, then get this exhaust on. And then we can get some oil in the engine. I bought a bottle of Honda Protect Gold. It's semi-synthetic, 10W30, so should do the job. Okay, let's get cracking with this brake and the exhaust. We also need to get this chain put on the other side, so we'll do that as well today. Okay, I'm going to adjust this up a bit later, and let's get this exhaust on, shall we? Right, I've just loosened this bracket off a bit so we can line it up properly. Voila. Right, I'm just going to put one bolt in there just to hold it in place while I get the exhaust attached to the engine. Right, there's the exhaust in place. I had to slacken off the bracket at the top here, just give it a bit of movement. I'm going to lock tight the bolts on the bracket, but I'm not going to lock tight the bolts that go onto the manifold, because basically these heat and contract anyway, so. But yeah, I had to get underneath the bike, so I had to take the camera off. So you missed out a little bit, but you didn't miss a lot. hope this is going to be enough. As I remember rightly, it should be. There should be a little tiny bit left at the end. Make sure the drain plug's in, which it is, but it's not tight. This is what we're looking at, the eyeglass down here. We want the oil to just come over the halfway mark. Okay, that's taken most of that. There's a little bit left in the bottom there, which, as I remember before, that was perfect. I'll check the capacity later just to make sure, but let's get a bit of fuel in there so we can get it fired up. I know we haven't got an air filter on there yet, but it should be all right, just to fire her up. Just hope the fuel tap doesn't leak. Okay, there was a couple of cuts there. Choke's on. Oh, I'll tell you another thing as well, I didn't tighten the spark plug up. Right, I think my battery's flat. Well, I managed to kick it over, get it started. I'll let it run for 10 minutes, charge the battery up a bit. So, let's try it again. Look at that, first time. And I put all the bits and pieces on there, side panels. These are only plastic mouldings, they don't serve any function. They just make it look a bit good. Great stuff. So there you go. All done and assembled. I managed to get the indicators working, but I need another flasher unit. For this side, as you can see, there's no flash. Also, I think these switches rely on a high amperage, because really you should press it, it flashes, as soon as you release it, it should carry on flashing, which is not. And then you hit it again and it stopped, but it's not happening. So I'm going to change these switches, I've got some on order. But anyway, should we get the old GoPro on there and we'll take it out for a test run? I'm going to pop the GoPro on the top of my crash helmet, and I'm going to give it a go on the front of the headlight as well. I've actually got a new crash helmet on order. The side of the visors here has gone, so it does tend to ping out. And with the bugs out here, you do need a visor, and I can't get a replica of this visor here, so I've ordered a black crash helmet, matte black. It will fit in with the bike. I'm not going to worry about wearing any leather or any protection, because I'm only going to take it down the road and back. And it's bloody hot today. you go. Lovely stuff. And I'll tell you what, on these new tyres it feels absolutely fantastic. Anyway, that's going to do it for the Keeway Superlight 200 strip down and rebuild. I'm going to take it into school tomorrow, give it another 50-60 kilometres run, maybe tighten the chain up. If you did like it, like I say, do give me a thumbs up, do subscribe, do share with your friends, help my channel out. Check out parts 1 to 5, and I'll see you next time.